Hi, Dora. Hi, Jeannie. Let me go get my glasses real quick while we get people in here. Hi, Jeannie. Patty Segovia, how are you? You all know that if I'm on a live, that I just heard something and it struck a curiosity on me. What's today? November the 11th? Halloween was what? 11 days ago? You're good? That's good. Hi, Sharon. How are you in Spain? It's already late in Spain, Sharon. You're not asleep. Hi, Linda. Today's the 13th. So 14 days ago, 13 days ago was October the 31st. I was hearing Yaya's show. And I don't know why there's some platforms that are so concerned about witchcraft. Witchcraft has been around for lots of years. It's biblical. If it wouldn't have been biblical, then King Saul wouldn't have been taken his throne away by God. Why was his throne taken away by God? Because he went to a spiritualist and brought out the soul of one of the prophets. So let's get real about witchcraft and stuff. Yeah. Your question about how Ofelia says things was tronco, molonco, y hoja. Okay? And there's lots of religions, and witchcraft is probably one on its own. But we're not here to talk about religions or witchcraft in itself. I'm going to let you all know. I was born in 1964, okay? In my mind, I don't know why, I thought the show Dark Shadows was in the late 70s. Because I remember very clearly seeing that show, I think on ABC or CBS, one of those two stations ran the show Dark Shadows, and it might have been NBC. I don't know. I don't remember which of the TV stations ran it. But I asked Google, when was Dark Shadows? The show ran in the United States. Why am I bringing this show up? One of the reasons is I remember in one of the episodes, okay, the show Dark Shadows ran from 1966 to 1971. So it ran for 5 years here in the United States, okay? That show, Dark Shadows, did 1,225 episodes according to Google. Why am I bringing up a show that was done publicly and ran for 5 years in one of the networks in the United States up so many years later? It was 1971. when it stopped being on the air, and I think they have reruns now, but I didn't ask that. I asked, when did it run? Because I remember in one of my flashback memories of that show was that somebody had gone on a trip to another country, and it was a boat trip, and somebody was trying to do a spell on that person, and they got a little paper boat, and I don't know how to do a paper boat, but they got a little paper boat, um, and they had a bowl of water, and they put the little boat on the bowl of water, and they started twisting it and twisting it and twisting it and twisting it until the boat started sinking into the little funnel that they were creating by twisting the water around and around. They were creating a little tunnel in there, and the boat was going around and around. Well, then that show showed that that person was in a boat in the middle of the ocean that was being hit by a big storm, and the boat was going around and around and around. Okay, I remember that from my early childhood memories, and I don't remember if I was, because I was born in 64, so this show started in 66. It couldn't have been when I was 2, but it ended in 1971, and by 1971 I was like 7. But that show was about a lot about witchcraft and doing spells and just doing stuff. At what point in a real person's mind are you really going to take those kind of things seriously? In the south of Texas, I am going to be the first one to tell you, anytime somebody wants a tarot read, they're going to use these cards, right? This is called una baraja española, okay? It's a Spaniard deck. It's got 40 cards in it. Is that witchcraft? Because I've seen it done not just by me, by the very people that are talking about witchcraft and how evil it is and everything. They pull out cards and they do readings. This is a Española deck. Here's another deck. This deck here has 78 cards. There's 21, I think there's 21 major arcana cards, and the rest of them are just a deck of cards. The minor arcana. Okay? That's one. This is another deck of cards that has 78 cards. This is a tarot card reading deck with 78 cards in it. "21 major arcana, and the rest are regular deck of cards. And they come with books, so it's not like just... Here's another one. Good afternoon. Lady Chapa. Salud para España, Gacy. My question to everybody that's watching me and the people that know, okay? If you are so worried about witchcraft, is somebody doing a tarot, would that person also be directly doing some kind of witchcraft, since a tarot reading is to ask about your near future, because it's not an extended future reading. Any tarot reader that's worth their salt will tell you that a tarot reading should not be done every day or every month. If that tarot reader is a real reader, and I'm not, but my cousin Google has told me a lot of things, a real tarot reading by a real tarot reader that knows about how to read the tarot cards will only do it once every 6 months. Why? Because it's about energy. It's about where is the energy. Some of these tarot readers know about the stars. They want to know when you were born. Where were you born? The time that you were born. And that will place you on the right energy time frame to be able to read your tarot cards the right way. In South Texas, anybody that's gonna go and pay somebody to get their cards read, more than likely, and I'm not saying that it's true or not, because I don't participate in paying anybody for things that I can do myself. And you all have been told that plenty of times. You already know that. I'm going to be the first one to tell you. If I can carry $1,000 phone, I'm going to ask my cousin Google. And my cousin will tell me, oh, honey, this is the direction that you need to take. Right? But when you have a nincompoop up here trying to tell people that everybody's evil, no, some people, I'm going to tell you, some people like to mess with you, and they know they can mess with you, okay? They know they can mess with you. Usually they mess with you with this card. This is an amarre card, okay? You want to see the victory card, but you don't want to see this card when they're reading your tarot. It could be an amarre for different things. But why am I saying that? Usually this card means your house. The Ace of Cups is always going to mean your house. That's what's closest to your heart. Sharon, that's what I said. This is a Española, and you're in Spain, so you know which deck this is, Sharon. Yes. But these people want to be talking about witchcraft, but is fortune telling part of witchcraft? Because I always want to see this card. If anybody's reading a tarot deck for me, I want to see this card come up first. This is the victory card. It's a money card. You're going to be, winning anywhere that's related to money. But why would you mess with somebody's mind? Yes, Sharon. Uh, that's why the energy is, it could be today, tomorrow, or 6 months from now. Because we don't know where that energy is at in your life. And if somebody really knows how to do a tarot reading and you give them your birth date and the place you were born, they will do an astrological reading for you, which would place that tarot reading in the appropriate time frame. Probably not, Sharon. But I'm not here to do a tarot reading. I'm here to let you all know that there's a lot of platforms here in South Texas that like to talk smack. And they like to talk smack and go into personal stuff for different people. Personally, I don't go to any church right now. So it's like, I can tell you 1,000 times I was raised in the pews of the Pentecostal church. I don't go to church anymore. Okay? But I can also tell you that if God decides when it's my timeline and He decides that, hey, you can't come into heaven, Angie, well, then I'll be opening up the doors to hell to every single one of them liars that has been everywhere lying, you know? And it's not just Trump lying. And it's not just Greg Abbott lying. And it's not just the chief of police from Raymondville lying. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, why would somebody say that, oh, that person there's doing witchcraft? But I'm not. I'm just doing a tarot reading. It goes in the same category, and I don't care how you want to paint that one. Hi, Teresa Riley. I'm glad you're not missing it. My question at the beginning of the show, Teresa, was who got to watch the show Dark Shadows here in the United States? If anybody wants to go to Google later on or YouTube and look up Dark Shadows as a show, they had 1,225 episodes, and every single one of those episodes had some kind of witchcraft being done or spell or something. And I remember it as a child. I remember one of the shows having somebody with a bowl of water and a boat in it and going around and around, Teresa, around and around. I remember it since I was little. So it can't just be Mexicans talking about witchcraft. It can't just be Puerto Ricans talking about witchcraft. And people that are doing tarot readings and card readings, that's part of the dark shadow stuff. Is it still running now? Is it just rerunning? I'm not even sure. Barnabas was like the main one. But, it's like these people want to be acting stupid. And I'll be the first one to tell you. On Halloween of 2022, when me and Ophelia did that Halloween show and those people got on my driveway, Ophelia was not doing any of the spells the way that I had told her to do them. Ophelia was saying abracadabra, in Spanish, abracadabra, patas de cabra and stuff because Ophelia was playing. And Sharon, a lot of people's curiosity gets opened by wanting to know how the cards can be read or what they're going to say. Usually, and I've gone to the flea market here in Brownsville and Alamo, and I have paid for somebody to read me the cards. Do you pay them knowing that they're going to lie about something, or. Because usually when you get a reading in one of those places, and I'm going to ask you if you've gone through this, Sharon, they usually start the reading and then somewhere in the middle, they say there's something blocking this reading, and you need to come into wherever their office is or whatever, because they have an office. They don't just work in the flea market. So that we can try to unblock your path, and we'll turn on some candles and we'll give you some herbs and stuff that you can use, and we'll unblock the path to whatever it is that's blocking you. They haven't ran it for years. Well, according to Google, it stopped running in 1971. But I think my sister Frances said that they were running it again in one of the in one of the TV. I don't know which one it was, but they're running it again. I don't know if it's YouTube or not. It's not Netflix, but there's other ones that are TV platforms. But you cannot say that you only that reading the cards is only to bless people or to no. Reading the cards is part of witchcraft too. I don't care how you see it. It's part of witchcraft. So you cannot act like Mother Teresa of Calcutta's cousin. And I'm always comparing these people to an actual saint, because that lady was indicted into the Sainthood Hall of Fame, okay? So, but these people want to act like they're her cousins when they're doing the same thing that they claim other people are doing. And I will tell you, it doesn't have nothing to do with you being a Protestant, a Pentecostal, a Catholic, a Baptist, a Methodist, a Santero. It doesn't have nothing to do with that. It's part of the culture here in the United States. And Dark Shadows is not a Mexican soap opera. It's not. I don't care who you are. Dark Shadows and Barnabas is not a Mexican soap opera. Mexican soap operas are more into the cartels, the drugs, and trafficking than witchcraft and spells, okay? So, that, I remember from being little about that soap opera, and it was part of growing up here in the United States. It didn't have nothing to do with my Mexican heritage. Yeah, I was seeing that, Sharon, that you gave some a false name. But I mean, you paid money. You should have given your name so that you could see if they were actually being real or not. It's like, but my whole thing with these people is get real. That Hocus Pocus show that Ophelia and me did mess with a lot of people's mind. Here in South Texas, if you want to mess with somebody, start pulling out those candles. Because the Morenos don't believe in that, but they do believe that if they pull a couple of candles on your ass and you're actually seeing it, you're not going to sleep right at night. You're going to be thinking about it over and over and over. Did that bitch really do something to me? did she really do something to me? And it's like, why are you worried about it? Don't you go to church? Don't you read your Bible? Don't you know that the Bible says, Ophelia always makes fun of me when I say Psalms 8:4. I think it's in Psalms 8:4, but I mean, even if it's not, look it up on Google. He'll tell you where it's at. En paz me acostaré y asimismo dormiré, porque solo tú, Jehová, me haces dormir confiado. So why worry about why somebody pulled a candle on you? Got a black conscience? You know, don't be saying, oh, they're turning on candles and they're doing witchcraft when you're reading cards, because it's the same thing. The mind does a lot of things, Teresa. I shall lay me down to sleep. In Psalms 8:4, I think it says it. I shall lay me down to sleep, because only you, O Lord, can make me sleep at rest. You know, it's like, why are you going to be worrying about it? Why are you going to be worrying about somebody turning on a candle on you? They can turn 100 on me if they want. You know, it's like, am I going to allow my mind to take me that far? That's the question. No. But by the same token, Teresa Riley, just because you believe in God, people like us that have these type of shows, or like the job that I had, which, you know, the job that I had to respect all religions, all of them. Rastafarians, Jews. The Jews and the Rastafarians, where I worked, they even had if you were an actual Jew and you were incarcerated, than the regular people that were there. Oh, well, when you're sitting right there, Sharon, usually they, you know, I've gone through like a couple of times where I've paid people to do my tarot reading at the flea markets, and then they always say that there's a blockage, and they always want to try to pull you into their office so that they can get more money out of you, which isn't gonna cut it. And usually I never hear anything that resembles or anything in my life. But I mean, that's just me. Maybe I'm too negative when I go in there. But yeah, you're sitting right there. So I mean, it's like, I don't think they can look up your name and try to locate who you are that quick, you know. But it has a lot to do with your psyche. So, how was she reading anything for you? Was she reading the palm of your hand, or was she reading the head? Because a lot of people go to some of the Chinese people that can do your fortune by doing a massage on your head. Nobody said that I was a witch, Fruit of the Loom. Thank you for removing that comment. But there again, you know, go and get another subscription for me, buddy. Thank you, Teresa. We are here to talk about people that want to talk about other people, but totally want to block out what they've done on their own platform. That's why I pulled out all my decks of cards. Not because I read cards. I don't read anybody's cards unless I'm playing a game on this show or unless somebody asks me if they're here. And it doesn't get done that often, and I don't need to pull my future out because my future is whatever I want it to be. If I want to be here at home, sitting here, minding my business, getting on the internet and bugging people about how their brain works, that's on me. I think some people were liking my little shot glass that I pulled out the other day because I didn't want to mess with the nice liquor that was in it. But that's not medicine, and it's not something that I drink all the time. So it's like, what does it matter? I'm not saying I'm so sick I need to drink it because I can drink water. And bitches, this is bought water. I don't care. It's Sam's water. I have another brand of water over there too in the hilera. So it's like, well, that's nice, Sharon. Did you get along with your grandmother? Because I'm telling you, if somebody tells me something about the two grandmothers I had, I think I knew my dad's mom. My mom's mom died when I was around 2 or 3. And the only thing I remember about her was her blonde hair and blue eyes, and I remember her coughing. But she never was around us that much, so I don't remember my mom's mom. Hi, La Sovia. There goes another one. I think the haters are coming in, but that's okay. They need to be in here. I don't even know if I put it on subscribers only mode, but that's okay for right now. I was just here doing a little bit of a show just to let you all know, don't be deceived by anything that you hear out there. If somebody's pulling out, I don't care what deck of cards they're pulling out, that is also part of witchcraft. So, I don't know. My favorite drink is amaretto sours. But I drink a lot of Bucanas and a lot of Jack Daniels and Crown Royal shots. So, but those are just the regular shots that I drink. But if it was an actual drink, Teresa, an amaretto sour is the go-to at all the casinos that I go to in Louisiana. They already have it marked in my card. When I put my card in the machine and I go to ask for a drink, amaretto sour comes up as my favorite, and I just hit that. Yeah, and I have different Crown Royals. I have the mesquite flavor, I have the apple flavor, and the regular flavor. Usually, it would be dumb, Sharon. It would be dumb for a card reader or any type of anybody that does a tarot reading to give you a bad reading. They want you to come back, Sharon. So they're not going to give you a bad reading. I think that that would be bad manners of them to do that. Um, that's just me. The honey one that I pulled out yesterday, it's really good, but it's really sweet. Um, but I just wanted to tag along with Yaya's show about how these people start their mess. I remember when that person started with the dirt from some warlock in Michigan, and that they brought it to Texas, and that's when, at the time when she was talking a lot about the 369, you know, and she kept repeating 369, 369. It would probably be too sweet, but you know what, Sharon? If any of your friends do have a bottle, I would at least try it. I mean, I have a bottle because my daughter got it for me, but I think that that's like the second shot I've gotten out of it. I've had the bottle for more than 8 months. It doesn't bother me to be for it to be in my cabinet. I don't care what people say if I'm pulling out more shots or whatever. I still know that they drink more than I do. They can say whatever the heck they want. But, don't link brujeria, witchcraft, or anything like that just to the Hispanic culture, because it's not. It's not. King Saul was a Bible king, the first king in the Bible, and he was from Israel. So he wasn't from anywhere near here. He was from those places that marry four wives, four and a half wives. Yeah, try a little bit. So, but I mean, it's like I just it just makes me think, what the heck? These people just like to talk smack. Is that all they got? Just smack talk, and it's like, if you're gonna pull out a deck of cards, you're still doing some kind of witchcraft. I don't care what you think you're doing or what you're saying you're not doing. Just because you didn't turn on a candle doesn't mean crap to me. I will tell you straight up how it is. But it's been 30 minutes. Thank you for letting me into your afternoon, into your Thursday afternoon. And just remember, Dark Shadows was not a Mexican soap opera. It was an American soap opera. And 1,200 and 25 episodes. That was a lot of episodes about witchcraft and stuff. So, so y'all tell me if that was just Spanish. No, it wasn't. And you can look up Dark Shadows on YouTube or Google, and they'll still have episodes out there. But don't come on the World Wide Web and try to say that because you're now trying to just do good and you're just reading cards that are good, that's not part of witchcraft, because I will be here to correct you. All of it is witchcraft. That was definitely an American soap opera. Yes, it was. And it ran 5 years, 1966 to 1971. And it started on June 27 of 1966. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for allowing me into your space. Bye.